Hello everyone, I hope that you and your families are well and that you're enjoying spending some time outside in this fantastic weather that we're having most of the time. It's really important that you are getting out and about. As long as you're following the social distancing rules and washing your hands, then getting out and meeting other people is really important for your mental health, so make sure that you're doing that as much as you can. I'm going to start this assembly by asking you a question. What do the following items have in common? Well, I'm sure that you spotted that these are some of the items that featured in the Screen Free Challenge a couple of weeks ago that we put together in honour of the Black Lives Matter movement. These are all things that were invented by black inventors or black innovators. And that word innovation is the theme of this assembly. The word innovation means to have new ideas or creative thought, or to think creatively about how to overcome a challenge in a new way. Sometimes this is called thinking out of the box, and it means allowing yourself to not be stuck in one way of thinking just because it's the way that we've always done things. So here's another question. What do these people all have in common? Think about that theme. Well, they're all your teachers. Yes, but they're also all innovators. Over the past weeks and months, your teachers and all of the staff at Harris Wimbledon have been exploring new ways of teaching and new ways of delivering your education. Not because we wanted to. What we really want is for you to be back in our classrooms and for us to be teaching lessons as normal. But because we had to. Your teachers were faced with a big challenge. They had to make sure that you still get your education, you still learn, you still make progress, even though most of you are not actually at school. And that is difficult. It's been difficult, but your teachers have found new ways to do that, whether through Teams or through narrated PowerPoints or through directing you to online resources. There's lots of innovative ways that have been introduced into your lessons. So what about these people then? What do they have in common? Well, I just chose 5 students at random to show. I could have shown any of you because, you guessed it, you are all innovators too. You may not think you are, but every single one of you has found a new way, a new and innovative way to learn. You have adapted to this new reality, and you've done a fantastic job. Some of you probably never realised how much you could do on your own, but you've demonstrated that you're all true innovators. So, innovating is all about facing a challenge and finding new ways to deal with it. As someone who's obsessed with science, I've read lots of stories over the years about innovators and inventors. Science is full of those stories. In fact, that's really what science is all about, innovating and finding new ways of thinking about things. One of my favourite stories about innovators in science is the one I'm going to tell you now. It's the story of a scientist with a great name, Spencer Silver. He worked for a company in America called 3M, and he was trying to develop super strong glue, a bit like this one. The problem is that he kept finding that his super strong glue worked for a while, but then after a few days it stopped working and whatever he repaired with it fell apart. Now this isn't great for a glue company because you don't really want things to fall apart after you've repaired them. So Spencer Silver became frustrated, became a bit annoyed, and so did his bosses and so did the company. They started to lose their patience with him. One of his colleagues, another scientist with a great name, Art Fry, just decided one day that he was going to take some of this glue home and take it to his church because he thought a use for it. He wanted to stick some bits of paper in his hymn books so that when the congregation opened their books, they could open it on the right page, so he'd stick the piece of paper on the right hymn. And because each week they were singing different hymns, he wanted to be able to take the piece of paper out and stick it somewhere else the following week. So Spencer's glue was perfect for this because it only lasted for a few days. To begin with, the 3M company thought this was a bit of a joke. They said to Art Fry, look, we're trying to develop super glue here, and you're trying to tell us that even though it doesn't work, it's a great product. Well, it isn't. Nobody listened to him for 5 years. Eventually, though, a new boss came along, somebody with a different mindset, somebody with a growth mindset. And that boss listened. And last year, Spencer Silver and Art Fry's innovation, a product which we now call Post-it notes, sold over £5 billion worth of little bits of square paper. Not bad for a product that didn't work. And all because somebody looked at the problem differently, creatively. They innovated. Art Fry was a true innovator. Just like your teachers are, and just like you do every single day, when you log on to a Teams lesson or you follow a narrated PowerPoint. Innovation is all about adapting to new circumstances. And if anything good can come of this terrible coronavirus pandemic, it's that all of us, and especially all of you, are adapting and innovating. And for that, you should be very proud. Have a great week. Enjoy Virtual Sports Day on Monday and Virtual Careers Day on Tuesday. And we'll see you all for more innovation on Wednesday.